Okay, so just setting the stream up. I wonder why that's not happening. Oh, hang on, I think it just started. Did it? Oh no, yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to check the audio comes out. Okay, so yes, it does. Okay, I believe it's working. Okay, so hello, Pete here. So I'm a very new GroovePages user. You're going to see me fumble and fail a lot, but that's probably good because it means that it's a real demo. So you log in, and we're just going to go to GroovePages, and I'm going to start a new site. So and I'm going to use this blank template here. So I suppose we should start by showing how easy it can be and then I'll explain why I'm not going to do it that way. So if you go to blocks, well actually let's just go back a bit. So there are pages, so it's created a page for me already. If I want an extra page, I can just click the plus button there, and then we switch between the pages here. It's created the home page for me. If we don't want pages to appear in the menu, I believe it is, then we can put them, you know, in the hidden pages bit. So that's just about the navigation. But if we want a new page, we just do that. So I need to explain the difference between elements and blocks, which is a bit confusing. So at the moment, this is a blank canvas with nothing on it. So you'd think that you could just drag from the elements menu like the two columns or something like that, or any of these objects, and of course it doesn't work. so there we go. So what we need to do is we need to start with a block, and to be fair, it does tell us that it needs to be a block, but you'd think the elements would work because it doesn't make sense that they're there, but it's blocks. So this is how easy it could be. Okay, so if you go to the premium one in particular, if we just take a title, so you just pick the design you want. You could have you can change all this stuff, and you can see you drag it in there and it goes in there. And then we might have a little bit of content. Excuse me. So again, we can just drag it over, and again we can edit that. And then we might have some features, so you can just do whatever you want. And again, we can edit all this. Get down there, there we go. And then finally we might just have a footer. I'll just do that or something. Okay, and that's basically a page. So let's save it. If we preview that, it's going to look like a web page, and it'll even be moderately mobile responsive. So obviously it's not stuff, so that's fine, because we can just edit it. So again, editing's a bit weird, I guess, so I'm just going to collapse that to give me a bit more room. So when you select or when you scroll over an object, you see all these things. So this outer one is a section. I might be using different language to them. Then the actual bit of content is in this frame here, or container here, and then there's actually another little container which is hiding in there, which again doesn't make much sense. But anyway, we want, if we wanted to change the background or the color of the thing, okay, we can just go to background, select a color. Oh, sorry, I wanted pink. There we are, and the whole, that whole background is changed. So we could just change the color of the background of the text, but that's going to look, bad. But I'm just going to do it just to show you, because basically you can change the colors in different places, but I'm just going to make that transparent because that's the way it should be. Now we've got the text, and I've set the background of the whole section. Okay, then I can click the text. Now when we click the text, we get this little toolbar widget, and the little edit icon you think would let you edit the text, but no. That brings up the properties panel, where you can change things like the text styling, and alignment, and the size. If it's already large, it wouldn't change. So I'm not sure why that's not changing at the moment. Sometimes it's finicky. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. So let's go back to text. And yeah, we could change the font. Okay, that's changed, you see. I think this might be a bug that the text size isn't changing at the moment, so we'll gloss over that for a minute. And we can change the text color on a good day. And again, that didn't change. In fact, I see what Dean or Dan's saying now, so I think that's the issue. Now we can also change it in its own text editor, and that might work. Okay, no, interesting, it went to black then all of a sudden, but anyway. And let's just see. No. So I think that's a bug. I'm not quite sure why that isn't happening. So I'm just going to gloss over that for a minute. But you know, generally we can do it. And if you want to actually edit the text, you click the T button. Okay, and now you can see you've got your normal sort of typewriter mode. Migrate thing. Okay, whatever it is. And I don't know if this will let us change, or if this will keep the colour here. In fact, it's not even changing. No, it's not changing there at all. Again, it might. Obviously, that's a bug where it disappears up there. I put a report about that in. And this is all hopeless. Yeah, but we could make it, you know, something. So I think that's that. Now, as I say, I think I got the text colour to work before, so I'm not quite sure why it isn't happening now. But I'm not going to waste time on it, so I'm just going to live with it. Okay, but you know, basically, yeah, you can see I've edited, changed the text. Some of the, you know, the font settings happen, some of them aren't, and yeah, and the rest of the thing, you know, works in the same sort of way. So you notice that when I click this feature block, okay, depending where I click, we've got the outer thing. So if I wanted to put a background on that, I could. I was frightened to try, but anyway, I will. Of course, the help gadget's right in the way. There we go. So that only changed it to that. Right, there we are. That might be of the background of the actual box. There we go. Okay, so I didn't actually mean to change the background of the icon. Okay, so we'll make that transparent again. There we go. But we can change the icon, but the icon strangely is under functionality. And then we have to do what they say. We have to go to font awesome. There we go, and put that in. Now, hopefully, they've got a search facility, so we could just look for a star. Okay, there we go. Actually, the syringe was good anyway, but let's do it. Let's just do the smiley face. So the smiley face is called Grin Stars. Okay, now the thing that foxed me before was you also need to know what style it's in. So this is under regular. Okay, so I put my font name in there thinking it was going to work, but it wasn't actually a regular font, it was a brand font or something. So we need to make sure we've got the right family name there. And again, you should be able to change the size. Again, I don't know why that isn't happening. I don't know if that's just me or if it just doesn't work. But again, I'm not going to waste time on it. And again, if we want to edit the text, okay, we click the pen, we'll get the properties. So I could change, you know, the font and it should change the colour, but I don't think it's going to right now. No, it isn't. Okay, and if we want to change the actual text, we click on T, and okay, and we can put that in. Okay, so the whole thing basically works like that. We just need to make sure we've clicked on the right thing. Okay, so you know, this text has got its own little toolbar here. This title has got its own toolbar, which I can't even get at now. There we are. And the icon has got its own. Again, it's being a bit fiddly. There we are. It's got its own box, and then the actual column, column that it's in. is its own little red thing there. So if I wanted a background on that, okay, again, now that's selected, I can do that, okay, and the rest of it's transparent, so that colour's, you know, shining through. So I'm just going to save that. Let's preview it again, and you can see, you know, it's starting to take shape, and that took, I don't know, I didn't watch the clock, but that took about 5 minutes, okay. And so if you wanted different colours and different words, you know, it's all done, and we've got a footer in there, and you can link to your social profiles down there, and that's all great, okay. But we're not going to do it like that, because the problem with this is it looks like the way they've given it to you, and they're not in sets at the moment, okay. So sets is one of the things that I hope that they'll sort out. Let me just check I'm going out, because that always perplexes me if I'm not going out. Just make sure the oh, because we've got to hit start, haven't we? Sorry. Okay, and yeah, I think it's still going out. If not, I'm recording it locally, so it means you're watching nothing, but I'm actually doing it for a reason. Anyway, so we've done that, so that's how it should be done. But the problem with that, as I say, is that, you know, none of these are really you know, coordinated, you know. So you know, do we have a title that goes with the bottom? So no, we don't really. So, you know, we've got a blue title, but it's too long for what I'm thinking. So you know, so I can't match it to the footer. Okay, not really, because this is gradient and that was solid, and you know, so it's just a bit messy. So we don't want to do it like that. So I'm actually going to use the wireframes in actual fact, which are a lot easier. But we're not going to do it the block way, or I'm not going to do it the block way. You can obviously do what you want. So I'm just going to exit this. So I'm just going to do it again, and I'm going to do another new site. And I should really name these things. Okay, and actually I think it names itself when we do this. So when we want to name the, you know, the stuff, if you go to site settings, live from elements, okay, actually let's call it live stream. Okay, and you know, we could set all the other things about it. If you've got Facebook, you know, pixel code, you can stick it up here. If you've got other stuff you want to put in, you put there. That's where you do your social profile and all that. I think that's all fairly straightforward. What wasn't obvious to me was you need to click the tick box to confirm that. So normally that would say, you know, okay or something, but it's a tick box, and if you don't click the tick box, you think you've saved it and you haven't. Anyway, now we've named the page, now we've got it up there. Okay, so if I want more pages, as I said, we can do that. So the first problem I've got is if I try and drag an element on here, it doesn't work. Okay, doesn't make sense to me, but there we go. So we need a block. So you know, I don't want to use the premium blocks, because as I say, they're not coordinated, although they are super simple to use and edit. And the wireframes are good, but again, they're kind of in you know, in their ideas. Okay, so I don't want well, actually let's pick the title block. You know, I don't want a call to action like that either, but yeah, I don't want any of the titles that they've done here, okay, because they're all too wee in my opinion, and I can use the elements instead. But to do that, I need to bring in an empty block. Okay, so just before I do that, let's come back to my challenge that I've set myself. So I've gone to ClickFunnels, templates, marketplace, trying to find a template that I liked. Not really finding one, and obviously we don't really see the whole thing, but anyway, I've picked two. So I'm going to probably get to do this one, but maybe not tonight. And they do it. It's very hard to say what's the pages and what the anyway. So he's created this. So it's just a simple opt-in form with his background, and he's got this, and he's got this, and then he's got another page which is this with the little step thing, and you know, these sort of things. So we're going to recreate all of those probably, if you like this idea, but I'm going to pick this one because it's a bit simpler. Okay, so the way this works, and with most editors and with web design generally, you know, basically, unless it's a freeform editor like Convertri, which has its own issues because it's freeform, which means, you know, you have to be careful with how you line things up. All the web design's in a grid. Okay, so when we're trying to emulate or be inspired by a page, I'm not trying to rip this off, I'm just, trying to be inspired by the idea of the layout. So this is one column, okay, because it goes all the way across, and it's basically one column and one column, but we can do the same thing. But it's basically a logo. I don't have a logo handy, so I'm just going to use text. But the rule number one, this is one column. Okay, so on our blank canvas, I do need to use a block. Okay, because elements don't work directly, and I'm just going to drag the block here, and when I do that you can see it actually puts a nice little thing in there. Now I've finished with my blocks for that moment. Now I can go to elements. So it's kind of a logo, so I should really use an image, okay, but I haven't got one handy, so I'm just going to use an H1 tag, okay, and I'm just going to I'm not going to I'm just going to get my brand. Okay, now you can see there's an issue here, it's not centered. Okay, now I could use the text editing tools on the thing itself, but I don't know if they work, and I think they're overridden by the properties panel anyway, so I'm not going to bother doing this. I could center it here, okay, but I'm not going to. So as we said, if I click the T button, the text T for text, I can edit the text. Okay, I'll just change it, and then when we click out of it, then when we roll over it again and we click it, then we can go to the pen, and the pen brings up the properties panel. Now in the properties panel, I can go to text and I can center it, and I can change the font. Okay. And I think even the weight worked, yeah, but I don't think the size. No, it worked that time, so I don't know what the logic of that is. Anyway, you saw me last time, it didn't work, didn't it? But anyway, now it's working, so there's obviously a bug in there. Anyway, and then maybe the colour will work this time. No, okay, the colour's not happening. Oh no, the colour did happen. Alright. So I don't know what the difference was between then and now. But anyway, so on a good day, we can edit the text here. But I'm editing the text here in the properties panel, not in the text widgets editor here. Okay, I don't think there's any point doing it there. Maybe for sublinks and stuff like that. Yeah, if I wanted to put a link on that word there, maybe that works. Let's find out. Oops. I mean, obviously it's not a good idea to put a thing there, but anyway, a link in the middle of your heading, in your brand heading, and of course that's not working. Oh, there we go. Oh, that may actually work. Okay, so if we want a sublink, we can do that. Anyway, but I'm getting off the track here. So this page, no, hang on, that's me. What am I doing? There we are. Let me just put that a bit closer. There we are. So this page here it was the logo, which should be an image, but I don't have one handy, and then a tagline. So I could create, I could drag in another, another empty block of one, but to be honest, I think we can just drag in this under it on a good day. Come on, there we go. Okay, and again we click the T button. Okay, and that's the tagline. I'm not going to, bother working that out. Now, again, I'm not going to style it here. Okay, I'm going to click off of it. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to use the pen or pencil, whatever it is, and then I'm going to change it here so I can center it there. I don't actually want it to be that thick. There we are. I'm going to stick to my Lato font. There we go. Maybe it will let me change the color. Maybe it won't. No, it did that time. Okay, don't understand it. Let's get that out of the way, and let's see if we can change the size again. Yeah, we can. So it's working now. I really don't know what it was doing before then. Anyway, but so we're there. So we're kind of like this page here. Okay, so we've got the logo and the thing. Now this second block here, okay, it's basically in two columns. Okay, we've got the image of the product, and then we've got the rest. And this is in 4 rows, but basically it's 2 columns. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to my blocks. Okay, now I would have thought we could have used that, and of course that is working now. But before we couldn't do that. Okay, so that's interesting. Actually, I've learned something there. So I think if we have one block, maybe it lets us do what I'm expecting, but I don't know why it doesn't start with the first block. Okay. Yeah, that did actually work. Okay, let me just let's get rid of that. So I'm going to do it the way I started to show you. I'm actually going to go to blocks, and I'm going to get an empty block, and I'm going to do one of these, and it's the uneven one will fit me great, and you can see it goes in. Okay, so yeah, so I think if you have one block in, maybe you can do it from elements. So I'm learning, but we haven't got the different width of columns here. So actually the other way's possibly better. No, you see I'm getting into issues now because it wants to put the columns in the thing. No, so let's stick to plan A. So if you want another columns, they're not columns, well yeah, they are columns. If you want other columns, do it under blocks, okay? And then we can use elements to split these up if we wanted to. Okay, so I'm getting complicated, so let's not do that. Anyway, so the first thing obviously here was an image. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. So we can pick it up with that and stick it in the right hole. There we go. Now I don't have many images handy, so I'm just going to go to functionality, browse. I'm going to pick the one image that I have in my image library right now, and actually I won't do that. And we're just going to select that one, and it should, and then do update. Sorry, there we are. And then it's there. Okay. Now, what else did they have? So they've got a sub headline. Okay, so I'm going to go back to elements. I'm going to pick my H3. Okay, I'm going to stick it in that hole there. What was the example of this? Featured product. Okay. So sorry. Let's click on it. Actually, let's click off of it. Let's click something else. There we go. Let's click on it. It's being finicky. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Just because I don't want to waste your time. So let's do the H2, and then it'll probably behave itself after that. There we go. Okay, so that's better. This was my great product or something. So again, I'm not going to start it there. Right now, you see it has behaved itself now. Right, so just going to call that featured product. Okay, so there, and I'm going to click off that because I'm not going to start it there. So we need to style. I haven't clicked off of it now. There we are. We're going to click the pencil to bring the inspector up. So obviously it's centered. I was going to go lighter or whatever. Size is about right actually, but yeah, it does work. And theirs was in blue. Actually, let's have a something like that, and it's probably a bit thicker. So let me close that so I can get at the weight. There we are. I don't know if that changed. Did that change? Okay, maybe it was bold already. Yeah, it's bold already. So they had featured product. I won't bother with the icon there at the moment right now. Then we have the product title again. It was centered. There we go. Was it? No, it was just black. Okay, but it was a bit bigger than that. I don't know what size it is now. Let's say that. That's probably a bit heavy. Let's get the font. Let's do. Maybe it was semi-bold already. Or maybe it's not changing again. There we are. No, that one changed. Okay, let's try it. Bold then. Semi-bold. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so that's that. What else did they have there? So now they had a paragraph of text. Okay, so again we can go to elements. Paragraph of text is down somewhere. I saw it earlier. There we go. Paragraph. So I could have paragraph with title, but I've already done the title, so I'm just going to take the paragraph. And again, I'm just going to try and drop that in the right place. If it doesn't go in the right place, it doesn't matter because I can move it. Okay, we're there. And so some lorem ipsum. Actually, we've got lorem ipsum all there. Okay, so that's all done. What else did they have? And then finally, they had a button. Okay, so let's just go. And again, I can restyle this. I can change the text and I can restyle this text. So again, I'm just gonna. So that is left aligned, so that's all right. I'm gonna make it lighter again. Hopefully they'll have a fixed font. I might make that light actually, because it's not behaving itself. Right, that works. So that must be light. Okay, good. I like it a bit bigger than that, I think. Yeah. Don't really like that colour. So I'm just going to make it a little bit less black. Make it grey or something. Maybe that one. No. Okay, let's go down to that one. Okay, so just a little less in your face, basically. Okay, and then the button. Sorry, I knew we started here for something. And then we just find the button, which is somewhere. There, edit then. Where did it go? Button. Button. There we go. Okay, and I don't know where. Oh, it went up there. Okay, so that's all right because we can just move it. Now again, the buttons should have been centered. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, so we can put our link in. So I'm just going to use Google. Thank you. Open a new tab. Good. Update that. So we want to center that. So I don't know if it's going to do it with that. No. Okay. How do we center that now? Oh, here we go. So under spacing, center should have happened. I'd have thought. Okay, so I went wrong. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. Let's make that a bit bigger. Oh, that's the height. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Right, let's make that a bit like that. And then, if I was better at this, I would be able to center it. For some reason, I can't. So again, I'm not going to waste your time by worrying about that. But we will be able to center it somehow at some point. And what did they have? Let's have more info. Okay. So, oops. Okay, and I'm just going to save it there. And I know that button should be centered, and I'm sorry I can't do that right now. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. Anyway, but if we preview it, okay, I know it's not glorious, but it's the layout of where's it gone? Of their one. Okay, so obviously we can be more, spend more time and get the the colours and the sizes and the fonts right. But it's basically done. But the reason why my one looks horrible, okay, and their one doesn't, is basically because of all this white space. Okay, there's white space here and here, and and there's basically space everywhere. Okay, so that's really the only difference. Okay, but hopefully we can sort that out. So, how do we do that? So, I want a bit of space there. So let's just put some spacing down here. There we go, that's a bit better. I want some spacing there, so again I'm just going to spacing. So you can see that you've got, you've got all four sides, and then you've got padding and you've got margin. So if you don't know HTML, I probably need to explain that. So, and it might not make a lot of sense to you, but it will help you in the long run. So margin is basically the bit outside of the box. Okay, so I've got this red box here. So margin is outside of the box. Okay, so sometimes they have the same effect and sometimes they don't. But if I do the margin, you'll see that it is going to separate. Actually, sorry, I want the top margin. It is going to move. Okay, it is going to move. But if I want it to be spaced inside of the red box, that's padding. Okay, so again, it does separate it. So there is a reason why you do one and the other. But you know, a lot of the time they do the same thing. Okay, but you know, now we're starting to get a little bit better. Now this needs an awful lot of space, or maybe I should add it to the button. Actually, I'll add it to the button. So I'm gonna, because it's the same thing, so I can either add space at the bottom of the text or I can add space at the top of the button. So I'm choosing to do it at the top of the button, just because I'm expecting things to happen in the future. So the bottom one should work. Okay, now you see that didn't do what I expected. In fact, sorry, I've done the wrong thing because it's supposed to be at the top, isn't it? Beg your pardon. There we are. Okay, so if we could just center the damn thing like it says it's supposed to, then that would be good. Now the other thing that isn't good about this, the font's probably a bit heavy actually, so I'm just going to go back and, well, it says it's light, so let's try hairline. Okay, let's just go to bold, then go back to hairline. Oops. Still a bit yucky. Okay, let's try that. Actually, I'm going to need a bit of more space there. So on the title we can probably do margin or padding, but anyway, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so we're getting a bit more space. So the other thing that's not good about this is the line spacing. Okay, in other words, the gap between the lines, you know, themselves. And I think it does that. Yeah, there we go. So it's under more text options. It's a bit hidden, and it's probably only if you've got expert mode on. But we can change the line height, and we can make it. Oh, loose is way too big. Normal's probably all right, and I'll just show you the difference with tight and with none actually. Yeah, so you see with none it's really dense. Okay, so I just want normal, I think. And it just gives you a bit of room to breathe. There's a bit much, and normally I set it in you know, pixels or percent. Actually, I use percent to be honest, but it's not letting me do that. So normal's okay. So let's just save that, and we'll just have a look at it again, and hopefully it'll look a little bit better. There we are. It's a little bit better. Okay, it's still a bit undesigned, but it's kind of okay. It's starting to get there. Okay, but we've got the layout of this ClickFunnels, top of this ClickFunnels template. I was going to put my hand over the pictures there, but of course you won't see that. Yeah, and we can recreate this if we want to. I wasn't going to, but I just will, just to show you. So again, this is one column. Okay, so we're going to stick to our method. So we're going to use blocks to put in an empty block of one column, because it gets us into less trouble. And that had a heading in it, so we go back to elements. It's probably a H3. Stick that in there. I can't remember what they said. Our products or something, was it? Online videos. Okay, I'll stick with that because I don't know. I haven't got anything to say myself. Right, there we go. Online videos. Okay, now obviously it's not centered. I'm not going to use these tools here. I'm going to click off of it, roll back over it, click it, and click the little pencil tool, and then I'm going to use these options here. There should be a way to set the font for the whole page, really. Anyway, that wasn't that's better. And I'll just change the colour just to see if it works. Yeah, it does. And let's just change the size. Let's get rid of that. Let's change the size. I thought I got rid of that size. Thank you. Okay, just to say that. Right, and then the next bit, you're saying, well, how do we do, let me get rid of that now. How do we get rid of, how do we do this? Well, look, look at the count of the columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then there's 4 things on top of each other. We've got the sub tag, the the headline, the video itself, and a button. Okay, so we're going to go, as I say, back to blocks. Use an empty block because it just seems to be less of an issue. I'm going to use that one for, because that seems to be what it is. I probably won't do all of these, but let's do one of them. So we've got the subhead and the head. Okay, so back in elements, I'm going to use something like an H3. Okay, what did they say here? Episode, right? So I'm going to click the, why is it being funny? There we are. Right, episode number 1. Okay, again, I'm not going to start it there. Just going to click the little pen, go to text, center it. It's a bit heavy and all that, but I'm not going to, spend a lot of time on that. Okay, that'll do me. One thing that is quite nice is we can actually copy stuff, so we could just copy that and then I can just drag that over to my other thing and then just change the text to 2 and stuff. So there's a lot of shortcuts to make things quicker. But anyway, I'm just going to do one box at the moment. So it was the subhead and the title. So again, that's going to be probably an H2 or something. So again, I can just use it in the same box and just drag it down. There we are. Okay. Come on, there we are. Okay, again, I'm not going to use these tools. I'm just going to click off of that, go over it again, click sorry, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click the pen to get this up. Again, it was centered. Okay, we probably could change the color of it this time. I don't know why it does and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see if the font changes. Sorry, let me get rid of that one. So the size, there we go. Yeah, it did. And I'll just change it to lighter again. There we go. That'll do me. And then we had the video. Okay, so we haven't done a video yet, so that'd be interesting. So back in elements, hopefully there's a video thing. That's what I saw earlier. There it is, YouTube video. I don't know, well, if it's not, anyway, we won't worry about that. So let me just put it in. I want to put it in there, thank you. I think it's going to let me do that, is it? Maybe it will. Wow, that's finicky. Okay. I might just put it anywhere. Where did it go? I don't even know where it went. Okay, let's do that again. Should be alright. Okay, I've lost the, there it is. Right, I'm just going to drop it there to give myself a bit more room. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to try. Actually, I'm going to. It's being finicky. Let's try and stick it in there. There we go. Okay, so now it's vaguely the right size. Now it'll be a bit more manageable. So let's just bring it over here. Oh. Come on. Behave yourself. There we are. Okay, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to move the title instead of move the video again because it was having a job living in its little hole there. Anyway, so we've got that there now. And then finally there was a button, a button. So we've done buttons before, but we'll do it again. So elements, button. Let's just try and get it a bit more close. Okay, so we're going to go there. And I forgot what the button said. More info, okay. And so we're going to try and select the button. Come on, there we go. And under functionality, I think it was, yeah. So more info. Obviously we can put a link in there. Okay, that'll do me. Open a new thingy, update, otherwise it'll forget. Okay, now the only thing that I couldn't do was center that for some reason, because it should do it with that, and for some reason it's not doing it. So I don't know why it doesn't center when I click center, but there we go. And then sizing, we can set the width in pixels and then just make that a bit bigger. Oh. I don't know how to center that text either at the moment, but anyway, I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's probably there. Yeah, it was. And we could change the font. So the only thing I don't know is why the button isn't centering. I'm curious what the little other cog is there. So I'm just wondering if that's the same, or if that's the center. No, okay, I'm going to admit defeat that I can't center a button. So I feel pretty stupid, but anyway, there we are. And we're kind of done, really. And we could copy some of these things across just to make it easier. Okay, and make it quicker. If we can get things in the right place. So once it's kind of in the right place, we can just do that. I think the video is going to cause me grief, but anyway, there we go. So I'll try duplicating that. I'll try and pick it up and drag it over there as easy as I can. Now it wants to resize to the new thing, to the new container. But there we go, finally got it. And again, just because that was a pain in the bottom, I'm just going to move the other things. Okay, and then when I'll just duplicate the button. Okay, and again I can just drag that over there. Okay, we're near enough, and then we'll just come over here. Come on, come over here. Okay, if it misbehaves, I just click somewhere else and then go back to it. Sometimes that works. And then I'm just going to drag that under the video. Come on, behave yourself. Come on, I don't want to move the... There we go. No? Okay, went over there. Oh, we had it then. There we go. Okay, and as I say, I'm going to admit defeat because I don't know how to center it. It should be as easy. I'm obviously missing something as centering it. Now again, we've got the same issue that everything's butted up like crap. So again, we can just select the item, click the pencil, go to our spacing widget. Okay, and I can probably do either. So I'm going to do margin. Okay, that's a bit nicer, and then that should be about the same. Let's just do the top one a bit more. So I don't know what I've resized there. Anyway, that's probably good enough. And again, this is all butted up again, and so we do the same sort of thing with that. Let's do the bottom. Okay, so that's 2. I'll just do that last one. Oops, spacing, sorry. Pad and margin bottom and 2. Okay, and again the button. So I'm just going to add it to the button top rather than the video bottom, just because it's probably going to be easier. So video button top. Okay, and we're there, and I should do that to the other one, and if I could center the button I'd be actually happy, but I can't, so I don't know why that is. And let's just get rid of this because that's annoying now. Go on, go away, thank you. And we'll just, it's saved, let's preview it. Okay, and it's starting to take shape, yeah, it's a bit ugly because that's butted to the top and, some of the things are wrong, but it's basically starting to look like this. Okay, certainly the layout is getting the same. I haven't done the colours and I haven't got quite the same styling. That's a bit a lot smaller text and stuff, but that's just tinkering, really, isn't it? But the basic framework of the page, so let's do that, my one. It's kind of there. Yeah, we've got a heading and a sub tag. We've got some stuff. We've got some text. That would be the right image. The button would be centered if I knew how to do that. And we've got a section heading here. And we've got the stuff here, and again I would space that out the same, and if I could just center that button I'd be happy. So the other things that I don't like at the moment, actually that was in their design to be honest, but theirs is all white background. Okay, so normally when we do a different section, to show it's a different section, we color it. So let's just try and color. I'm probably going to regret this. Just try and colour the thing. So the question is, what are we colouring? Okay, so I actually do want that. So if I try and, if I colour that, only the heading, episode 1 is going to have a background. If I try and, do that, then all of those would be coloured. So that might actually be quite nice. So let's just do that. So I'll just do a very, kind of subtle colour there. Okay, so that is still too much actually. I don't think I can do it less than that. Anyway, no, I can't. What does that one do? Oh, transparency. Oh, well, that will help us. There we are. So there's a bit of subtlety. Okay, and then that other one. Let's just make that one. So I'm trying to colour the whole. Everything including the button. That's what I'm trying to do. But it's a case of selecting the right thing, which is being finicky. There we go. Okay, so that worked. And then so I'm just going to make that another subtle colour. Again, let's take the transparency up. Okay, so now the videos are starting to look different. Okay. Anyway, that was a kind of a sidetrack. But what I wanted to do actually was to make the background, the whole background, a different colour to show that this is now the the training videos or whatever this is. So the red the red band is now over all 4 videos. So now when I change the background, it should change all 4 videos. Let's just do let's have a kind of a blue. Well, that's going to go with that, isn't it? Let's do a kind of an orangey then. So I'm just going to take the transparency down. So there we are. So it's not, the colour choice is horrible. But anyway, pretend that it wasn't. And then let's just save that. In fact, it really is horrible. But anyway, let's just see what it looks like. Okay, so you get the idea. It's kind of, different colour. Okay, but I really don't like it. So I'm going to just change that to something a little bit more respectable. There we go. And actually that works right. It's just the red now is now. So if it's misbehaving, I just click somewhere else and then go back to it, and then it seemed to work if I do that. There we are. So I'm just going to make that another shade of blue because blue and pink didn't go together at all. Let's do that one. Let's make it just a little bit darker. Yeah, it's just a subtle little thing. There we go. Okay, so now let's preview it. And now we can see, once it loads up, we've now got a section, okay? And if it's on mobile and we drag the size in and out, it'll still have a blue background, okay? So we're kind of there. So I know it doesn't really look exactly as stylish as this, but as I say, that's just tinkering. But we've got the layout there. We've got the the logo, the sub tag, the product picture, all of this, and 4 of the videos. Okay, and we could do these others in exactly the same way, and that's what we've come up with. And it just needs, tinkering. As I say, I don't know why I can't center the button. I'm going to say it's a bug or user error. I'm prepared to accept it's user error, but I really don't know what else I'm supposed to do. And I'm sure I've done that before and it did center, so I'm really not sure why it isn't. But there we go. Hate being beaten, but anyway, I'm beaten. So anyway, if we could center that button, I'd kind of be happy, and then we would just tinker it and play with it, and it's just about balance, and getting the the colours to kind of blend, and the text sizes and the fonts to blend, and also making sure you get this white space in. Okay, I think you probably noticed the difference. Yeah, when I started to put the white space in, it started to not look horrible. At least I hope you did. And maybe I've gone too far, or I haven't gone far enough. But there should probably be a little bit more space there. But we're starting to get there. So again, I can just, can I do that? Now this is an example probably where we're going to use the padding rather than the margin, as I don't want the red box to move. I just want the text inside it to be less butted up. Can we do that? No, we can't do that at the same time. Come on, drag over. There we go. So just give it a little breathing room, and by rights I should do the same on the other side. There we go. And I just wish I could get that button to happen. I selected it. There we go. No, that's doing inside the thing. Oh, we had it. Did we have it then? Actually, by rights, if I do both sides to auto, it should center. But no, it didn't. So I really don't know what's going on there. Okay. Anyway, that's it. So hopefully that was interesting, enjoyable. Hopefully you saw it. Me, failing, is probably good. So, that's a bit more stylish now. There's a bit more gap there, because you saw what it's like in the real world. Okay. And we've got some tips there that we need to the blank space. But as I say, we picked a design. We didn't copy it directly. We're just inspired by it. Obviously I could put the ruler in there and all that kind of stuff. I could do all of this, but it would need more time. But we can see that we've basically got the start of it. So that was theirs, and this is ours. Okay, and it's just tweaking it to make it as you want. But that's basically how we do it. We just count the columns, and then we put the columns in with the block, with the empty block, okay, because it just gives you the less problems. And then we fill it with elements. Now, the one thing I hope you agree with is that when I did it originally with the premium blocks, okay, it's going to look like they give it to you. And if you don't like what they give to you, then then we're stuck. But you can still use these, if you want to, even on the element design. Okay, it's entirely up to you, and maybe you can edit that. Maybe that would be alright if it wasn't that color. So all of these things are editable. Okay, there's the color. Let's just make that blue again. Okay, now it's starting to look like our design. So it's entirely up to you. But I don't, if they give you this, you're kind of stuck with it. It's going to look like that, and I don't know why the text is that huge and everything. But so I like doing it with elements because then we're totally in control. Anyway, I'm going on too much. That's it. I should have checked if there were any questions, so let me just do that if I can. Don't think there were. Probably nobody tuned in. No, don't think there was any questions. So that's it. Hopefully that's useful. Hopefully you get a feel for it. That's what we've come up with, and we did it in with me waffling and getting it wrong within probably 30-40 minutes, I'm not sure. And that was basically using elements, and as I say, use blocks to get your columns in place to start with. So that's it. Signing off for now. Talk to you then. Bye bye. And just trying to remember how to stop this now. Hang on. Let me do that and mute my mic.